Hey guys, on today's how-to I'm going to show you how to install a carbon fibre air intake for the 350Z in my front bumper and show you how I do it. So the factory airbox on the 350Z is located here. This is where the filter is, and there's also a little intake here where you can scoop in more air coming up from the air dam through the front bumper into your intake to give you cold air going into the engine. One way you can aid this is by getting a carbon fibre vent in order to add more airflow by locating it here, so it can go straight into this vent box here and you get more cooler air going through the engine. So what I'm going to do is show you how I'm going to go about actually installing this today. There's a few things you'll need. Now obviously we're going to have to cut a hole in the bumper there. I'm going to opt to use just a really sharp craft knife. Now obviously there are other ways you can cut holes and things, and in this instance a Dremel tool might be a benefit. However, because of the velocity or the RPM that these tools spool, I don't want to melt any of the bumper plastic around the area. I want to have a really clean cut. So I'm going to take it a long process and just use a little force using the Stanley knife and cut a hole so that this guy will fit in easy peasy. As far as what else you'll need, I definitely recommend getting just a bit of cardboard. That way you can make a template in order for us to transfer that to know exactly how large a hole we're going to be cutting in the bumper. And then on top of that you'll need some screws. So I've got a pack of black screws so that I can actually screw this into the bumper and it's just going to stay there. Let's get started. So what I'm doing is just creating a real basic template using a bit of cardboard so that I can transfer it to my front bumper. And what this means is that I'll have a little bit easier understanding of exactly how this is going to sit before I go ahead and start cutting away at the bumper. The last thing I want to do is start creating some holes in the bumper before I've actually decided exactly how this is going to sit. So this gives me an opportunity to sort of visualize it before I go ahead and just get started on cutting things apart. Okay, and so that's approximately about the same size as the hole that'll be required, maybe even a little bit bigger, so long as I'm not cutting a hole over where the screws are supposed to go in. It's obviously a lot better to cut far less than you need than to go far more, because one of those two ways is not reversible. So I'm going to cut it a lot smaller than I need, so that if I've got a bit more room play with, I'm in the clear. Excellent. So because I've cut this cardboard obviously a lot thinner than the main piece I'm going to actually be sticking on, where I put it, I just want to make sure I leave a little bit left over there so that I can actually mount it to the sides. Obviously you don't want to put this template right up in the edge and have no room to actually mount what you're looking to mount on. So I'm going to take that down around here. And so I've got a sharp blade on. Now for the moment of truth. And I am just going to start cutting. And so now after cutting that, I'm left with a really good template. It gives me a really good indicator as to how far I can keep going until I start cutting into my borders. So this is going to take a while. I'm going to be scouring over the exact same line I've created, trying to make it as smooth as possible as I go. If you start to hear a crunch from behind the front bumper, don't worry, that's just the polystyrene that's inside the bumpers. It's absolutely nothing to worry about. You do start making the entrance. Be really careful that you don't lose your grip. And cut all the way along. I accidentally cut or scratched a little bit more than I intended to, and so unfortunately I'm going to have to deal with that. Hopefully I can cover it up with this afterwards. I think I can, but we'll only find out until I'm done. So be really careful. That's important while you cut less than you need, because if you make accidents, you've got a bit of room to work with. So hopefully we can cover that up afterwards. But be really careful, because I've obviously made him a bit of a slip there and potentially made a bit of an issue and damaged my paint. So fingers crossed that's not the case. We'll see when we're done and we'll see how we go. So 20 minutes later, we finally cut a piece out, and it hurts me to see that I've just put a hole in my front bumper. I'm sorry, it's for a good cause. So now I take all this tape off. You should be left with a rather disgusting looking hole and a glaringly obvious scratch that I left from me slipping down here. So hopefully this thing's big enough. And no, so not quite. I'm going to have to cut it up just a little bit more. So far the fitment's good, but it looks like I need to cut a little bit more out from here. So I should have room there. And that there is as good a fitment as I can physically get, which is not bad. So what I need to do now is start putting in holes, unfortunately. So I've got these screws here. I've already kind of pre-drilled the carbon fibre. So I'm really just able to hand tap these screws myself, given how soft the plastic is. So what I'm going to do now is, now that I've kind of soft tapped these screws, I can line this bad boy up with all four in them, and I should just be able to screw my way in. Just be careful not to over tighten, as you will damage the carbon fibre, and obviously you do not want that to happen. Otherwise you're going to be left with a really big ugly hole in the middle of your car for absolutely no reason. And so now we're looking for a really cool air intake. Nice clean look. No damage to the outside of where I had originally cut, purely because obviously I gave myself a little bit of leeway room, and now I'm left with a really cool air intake. There's still obviously a little bit of damage around here where I originally had stone chips, etc, etc. So it's all good to go, that's all going, engine's on. As soon as you put the throttle down you hear a massive difference as far as the airflow goes. You can hear it whistle, but if you daily drive your Z, you will instantly notice a difference in how that air intake works. So I'm going to take it for a little drive, but I'll give you a riff. You can definitely hear the whistle, it's great. So I've taken a much longer drive than I had originally anticipated on doing, and the first thing you notice is on idle, so the revs stay the same, but the tone of the engine's just a little bit higher. It just sounds more refined due to that extra air going in, so it can't be doing anything bad. Also on downshift, I don't know if you can't really hear it because the audio quality of where I've got that camera is pretty shit, but you hear the whistle. You hear a whistle of the air intake sucking in the air. I'm going to absolutely punt it now. I'm going 60 Ks. See if we can hear it. clearly I hit the warp mode, so. But all in all, worth the, what, $90 US it was for that? Shit, I can't even remember. I ordered it months ago. But definitely worth the investment. It looks awesome. It just feels great. You hear it. If you've got your window open, you can hear this whistle of this air intake coming in, and it's so satisfying to hear. So I'm gonna go get some KFC because it's time for K-Fry. I'm gonna take some photos and send it off to my mates. Tell them to do the same thing. Also, if everything seems a little bit red, I have got my my LED light kit that I installed in one of my previous videos going, so I can turn that off. There we go, it's a little bit better. Obviously the dash is orange, but white light. Oh, I've turned it off now. Turn it on. White light. It's a little bit better. Maybe I'll do that with my vlogging. But that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy that little brief do-it-yourself. So on the next video, I'll be getting my car as Rona Fitness, and I'll be running through a little guide as to how you can also get your car ready for its WOF, and what you should look out for, what you should look over your car in order to see whether or not there's any issues that you know that you're going to need to replace, just so that you can prepare a little bit ahead of time. So tires, things like that, your oil, not that they WOF it, lights, what to check, CV boots, and how to check yourself so that you can do your own WOF test or pre-check before taking it in to get your Rona Fitness. We've also got Winter Jam coming up, sponsored by Downtime Entertainment, so look forward for another video for that. I'll be putting through another montage, and I'll also be doing another video on the MX-5 soon. We're going to get some parts ordered in for that one, so stay tuned there. And then I'll be getting some more bits and pieces for the 350Z as well. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you learned how to put this little modification together for yourself. And like and subscribe. As always, stay tuned. I don't know. I'm new to this shit. I need to get like my own little catchphrase. What about fluffy bunnies for now? Let's just do that. Fluffy bunnies. Cheers.